is the Bitcoin drop. Okay, now last Friday we saw Bitcoin drop over 3,500 US dollars. And at writing, the price is trading at about 26,000, right? Now, Bitcoin theories are abound about Bitcoin. Why did it drop so much? And basically, I looked at the different theories. I will summarize it to only 4. Number 1, you can find it on the X tweets, right? Is Elon Musk tweeting that's possible SpaceX reducing its Bitcoin holdings, and that spooked people out. Okay, so we have known Elon Musk, right? He can move he can move the cryptocurrency world here. You have seen him move Dogecoin before, a meme coin, and then turn into something serious. But that's Elon Musk, right? Now, the second thing is the surge in the US Treasury signaling possible more interest rates hikes. Now, we have been getting, the Treasury is moving up again, and whenever there's a possible interest rate hikes, right? That is more like risk is back on kind of thing. Now, Bitcoin is categorized as a risk off asset class, and so when you have risk on, the price will be dropping. Now, if you look into the other things over here, the next part I think would give effect to the Bitcoin would be the overall economy and the second largest economy in the world, which is China. And China is also facing some issues where another major developer, Chinese developer, Evergrande, if there are more issues, they also face more issues over there, because they have the bonds and kind of things also. So if there are more issues right over here, it would hit more misery on the Chinese economy. They have the early on already. If those I've already talked about, they hit them, and plus this Evergrande, that is a double whammy. It can further worsen China and also the rest of the world. Okay. And finally, the same issue also with China, where there is this possibility that China would weaken its currency to boost its economy, because it's facing deflation, right? So they have to make their currency cheaper, so people start buying more goods from them to slowly boost the economy. Now, the last time China weakened its currency, we saw the Bitcoin value fall by 20%, and that happened in 2015. And it could happen once again. So these 4 things were the main things that came on pop up, and being the reasons why the Bitcoin dropped, and the first one was the one that came up the most in the tweets, right? Now, I would not say one, but a collective speculations, all 4 which led to the Bitcoin drop. And if you notice, right, what is easy to drop, because of late the Bitcoin displayed a lack of trading activity and very minimal movements over here, right over here. Now, one of the reasons why of this lack of activity and probably also liquidity over here is because speculators, I believe, is waiting for the outcome of SEC's approval, especially the BlackRock one in early September. Which explain the lack of trading activity, because before that they have already postponed one, right? And one of the reasons they say, because if they want to approve, they approve it together. But there is always if it would be the trend going forward for every single one, they postpone every single one, right? That could actually happen. Now, from a technical viewpoint, the moment Bitcoin broke 28,500, the sellers came in, and the selling did not stop till price hit 25,000. So at the end of the day, when support broke, right, the 28,500 support broke, speculators started selling, possibly in anticipation of additional postponements. So if there are no news, they look at the price section, and probably those insiders, when 28,500 broke, they said, oh, insiders probably know something, and that's how the selling happened. Okay, So at the end of the day, two things to watch out for right over here. First is Bitcoin, how it's going to react to the 24,500 area. And the next is the anticipated early September SEC ETF announcement. These two things, either these two, either we have more drop or the market is just going to be sideways until the early September SEC ETF announcement. So be a bit patient over there, and I believe after all this drop, it may lead to another big drop, but when that's done, we would then move into the halving cycle, pre-halving cycle, and that's where there's the price starts recovering from there. Okay, so that's the end of the fundamental report. Okay, that's a question. In 2020, can we call that a normal crash, or it was more of a COVID crash? No, it's a market crash. It is. Technically, when the market drops more than 20%, we call it a crash. Already it's a market crash. It's just only, I think, the severity of the crash, that's the one that that is, I think, one of the biggest was the subprime one, where the market dropped I think close to 50%. That is a bad one, but the normal one is like 20%. I think the last COVID crash we had, what, 31% kind of thing. Yeah, it is a crash. There are no normal crashes. It's just it's really bad crash. Okay, it's either bad or just crash. And crash, I think, is already bad already, so there's no normal in that. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. So let's move into the charts to see. Okay, so